Cicada 3301. I just recently came across this, and I thought it'd be interesting to see. So, since it's around the time the cicadas have migrated, and it's almost coming towards the end of the migration, because they come across around every 17 to 16 years, so it's been crazy. I can't believe it's been that long. I still remember the last time when the cicadas migrated. I was like in first grade, so it's been like forever. It's crazy. And I think now they're back, and I remember how used to it I was in the mornings, as for the past few weeks, hearing them, like making those loud sounds in my neighborhood every morning as I wake up. And it lasts for like, I don't know how long, maybe like 20 minutes or so, but it'll last a while, and I was just like, ugh, man. And now they're slightly dialing down a bit until the end. It's coming to its end, and it's soon. I still see a few cicadas right in front of my place, so in any case. But I thought while the cicadas are around, let me check out something that's probably cicada related, but not really cicada related. So Cicada 3301. So when I looked this up, I saw a video on this, but first, before I reacted, I looked it up and see what the whole thing about Cicada 3301 is. Okay, so apparently, when I looked this up, it is a nickname given to enigmatic organization that, on 3 occasions, has posted a set of puzzles to recruit codebreakers from the public. Interesting. The first internet puzzle started on January 4th of 2012 on 4chan and ran for nearly a month. Wow. 4chan. It came on 4chan. Okay. I'm a little worried of that because 4chan has some crazy people on that forum, so I'm skeptical. But then then this popped up in my feed for Cicada 3301, an internet mystery on the channel of Lamino. So this is my first time coming across the channel. It's been out for almost 3 years now exactly. So it's crazy. It's like, man, I never seen this. So I'm curious to see how this goes, because if it's a code breaker for the public, I'm curious to see how this goes. So if it's something coding related, so it's a puzzle in an alternate reality game. I'm curious to see how it goes. I wonder if there's any actual like coding involved, was algorithmic problem solving involved. For me being a tech person and studying that a little bit in computer science 101, I wonder if they'll see any of that involved in this. So I'm going in here blindsided. So see how this goes. I'm surprised I never came across this before until now, but it's a good time to come across it and see how it goes with being cicada related, I guess, but not really. But anyways, I'm just gonna shut up and actually just get on this video. So here we go.
Just let me know.
On the 4th of January 2012, a user on 4chan posted this image to the site's infamous B or random board. The anonymous author, who went by the 4-digit pseudonym 3301, challenged users to uncover a message hidden within the image. Unbeknownst to those who stumbled across it, someone had just set in motion one of the most elaborate scavenger hunts the internet has ever seen.
Is that so? Cicada 3301. Now let's see what this is about.
Within minutes of the image being posted, someone discovered that by opening the file using a text editor, an appended string of readable text could be found. The string contained a cipher that, once deciphered, formed a link to yet another image.
Cipher text.
At first, this appeared to be a dead end, but using an application known as OutGuess, users were able to extract hidden information embedded within the first image. The extracted information led to a subreddit, which in turn contained information about the book. The book, along with a code, could then be used to uncover a phone number that, when called, played this pre-recorded message.
Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final .jpg image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. Multiply all 3 of these numbers together and add a .com on the end to find the next step. Good luck. Goodbye.
Whoa. That... Oh, damn.
By the following day, the initial image had been reposted all over the internet. A growing community of armchair detectives sought to unravel this elaborate puzzle, but no one was quite sure what to make of it. What was the puzzle for? Who was
That
behind
is the
it?
question.
What happens when you reach the end? Some naturally dismissed it as an elaborate joke, while others perceived its complexity as evidence against it being the work of a mere troll.
It'd be a
Before
little bit more
long, rumors
complex
began to
than that
circulate
make,
that this could be the work
be
of
just
some
a simple
secret
troll.
society or intelligence agency with the intent of recruiting individuals proficient in cryptography, steganography, and other related fields.
Yeah.
Of course,
have to be me.
it was nothing but a rumor.
Oh.
The two missing numbers mentioned in the recording proved to be the dimensions of the original image. After multiplying the width and height with 3301 and using the product as a web address, users were taken to a website. The website consisted of a countdown as well as an image of a cicada. When the countdown reached
so
0,
that's why
the
it's
page
called
was
Cicada
updated with a list of
3301.
coordinates. The coordinates pointed to locations around the
sense.
globe, 14 locations
But
in 5 different countries.
there's
It was
probably
now
more
up
to
to
it.
participants living near the specified coordinates to rise from their comfortable armchairs and venture outside.
And did they actually do it?
Those who believed Cicada to be the work of an organization now felt their beliefs had been justified. In their opinion, only some international collective possessed the means and resources to create a scavenger hunt of this magnitude. This was not
Yeah.
the work of your average troll. No,
No.
this had to be
This
something
is a
else.
lot more
At each location
sophisticated
was a
than to be simple
poster
troll,
with a
like I just
cicada
said.
symbol and a QR code.
What the hell?
That bike shelter over here. See, I got it right there. Oh. You can see the corners. I was excited. I just kind of ripped it off.
The codes linked to an image, the image contained a riddle, the riddle led to a book, and the book led to a website.
Holy
But
shit.
here, the puzzle took an unexpected turn. Only a select group of first arrivals to this website were accepted into the final stage of the puzzle. The site eventually closed down with the message, "We want the best, not the followers." The finalists were also warned not to collaborate with others nor to share the details of this private stage of the puzzle.
Why is that?
Given that we know this, it's safe to say that not everyone heeded that warning.
I
But
would
those who
imagine
did
not.
presumably
People wouldn't.
advanced through the final stages before reaching the very end of the puzzle. After nearly a month of silence, an image appeared on the subreddit announcing the conclusion of the puzzle, and just like that, the hunt was over.
Say what?
Cicada had supposedly
Just like
found
that?
the highly intelligent individuals they were looking for, and whatever happened to them is a bit of a mystery, but more on that in a moment. The complete lack of an explanation was perceived by many as confirmation that the puzzle had been nothing but a wild goose chase intent on wasting everyone's time.
Nah.
After all, questions
A wild
raised
goose
by
chase
the
going,
original
like,
image
across
remained
another
unanswered.
country?
What was the puzzle for?
I don't buy it.
Who was behind it? What happens when you reach the end?
There's a lot more to it, I would assume.
However,
I assume.
as it later turned out, this was only the beginning.
The second puzzle. Oh boy. Let's see what this
Whomever
part's
was
about.
behind this intricate game had the foresight to include an authentication code known as a PGP signature along with every clue. This allowed users to verify that an image or message was actually from Cicada, as opposed to some imposter seeking to evade or hijack the puzzle. Cicada had repeatedly warned of such false paths and insisted that any message lacking a valid PGP signature should promptly be disregarded. That's why this image, posted exactly a year and a day after the first, provoked such a frenzy. After a year of lackluster imitations, this
Interesting.
image finally matched
As I
the
say,
official PGP signature.
sarcastically.
Cicada was
Even though I'm
back,
not
and it was
really
time for
sarcastic
round
about
2.
this part.
The second puzzle was not too dissimilar from the first. The image enclosed a message, the message led to a book, the book produced a link, and gradually the puzzle unfolded.
And
At
this
one
one
point,
have
a
a message
recording
too to
titled
it?
The Instar
There it is.
Emergence was uncovered.
What's this one say? Digits.
Another clue led to a cryptic Twitter account, which then led to an image. The image proved vital to the progression of the puzzle, but the inclusion of this runic alphabet would remain a mystery for quite some time. Much like the first puzzle, the second swelled into the physical world when a list of coordinates compelled participants to once again take to the streets in search of enigmatic posters.
And they actually
this
went
time
for
it was
it.
8 locations in 4 different countries.
Oh,
But
and
eventually
people actually
the trail
went.
went cold
It's
once
crazy.
again. Another select group of first arrivals have been accepted into a final, private stage of the puzzle. Unlike the first puzzle, the second did not conclude with an official message from Cicada. The trail merely went cold, and Cicada vanished once more, leaving us no closer to an explanation. However,
Wow.
this was still not the end.
Really? Oh, the third puzzle! Oh boy! Is this the final part? Let's see.
At the beginning of 2014, it was time for round 3. Once
Round
again, the image
okay.
enclosed a message, the message led to
Same
a book,
thing,
the
but
book
different.
produced a link, and suffice
Same,
it to
you know,
say, it was
same
more
shtick,
of
just,
the same.
different stuff.
Except this time, the puzzle seemed to revolve around a strange book. The book was titled Liber Primus, meaning first book in Latin, and was evidently written by Cicada. The runic alphabet uncovered in 2013 finally made sense, as the book was primarily written in runes. Even so, the meaning of the translated pages were cryptic at best.
Yeah.
The book consisted of various philosophical and ideological ideas and appeared to be their manifesto. Many have since compared the strange writings to that of a cult.
Let me read this real quick. Most things are not worth preserving. Adherence. We follow dogma so that we can belong and be right. Or we follow reason so we can belong and be right. There is nothing to be right about. To belong is death. It is the behaviors of consumption, preservation, and adherence.
Nevertheless, the book also comprised a myriad of clues and codes. For example, this page advised participants to seek out a website on the deep web, but the site remains undiscovered. Another page led to a website containing yet another recording titled Interconnected.
And you actually hear the cicadas sounding off. I mean, I guess that's one reason why it's called Cicada 3301. You're bound to hear the sound of cicadas eventually somewhere related to this whole mystery. So what's the tune, though?
However, a significant portion of the book has yet to be translated. The runic text on some of the pages appear to be obfuscated by layers of encryption that has yet to be decrypted. Of the 74
Encryption's
pages
not easy.
featuring runes, only 19 have been successfully translated.
Is that so?
As 2015 came and went without the launch of a new puzzle, many came to suspect the Liber Primus had to be completed if Cicada was to return. This was more or less confirmed at the beginning of 2016, when Cicada encouraged a re-examination of the book. More than 4 years have now gone by, with minimal progress and near complete silence from Cicada. Questions raised by the original image have gone ignored. What is the purpose of these puzzles?
Yes.
Who's behind them?
Was
what
that
happens
ever
when
answered?
you reach the end?
Why'd you read it? Is that it? That can't
When
be
the
it.
initial image appeared on
Oh,
4chan back in
just conclusion.
2012, many assumed Cicada 3301 to be an alternate reality game designed by a corporation to promote a new service or product. For example, Microsoft developed an elaborate ARG back in 2001 to promote the film Artificial Intelligence, and a
Artificial
similar
Intelligence.
viral marketing campaign was used to promote the release of
Halo
Halo
2. Really?
But the release of
That's
subsequent
funny.
puzzles and the complete lack of commercialization has more or less eliminated that possibility. If we choose to believe some of the leaked information from the private end stage of each puzzle, then we do gain some insight into who this group might be. For example, at the end of the first puzzle, finalists supposedly received this email. In it, Cicada described themselves as an international group who believe that privacy is an inalienable right. The aim of each puzzle is to recruit like-minded individuals in an effort to develop privacy-conscious solutions. The email then concludes with 3
another,
questions.
you know.
The PGP signature, which would
I
have
wouldn't say
confirmed the
they're hacked,
authenticity
it's
of the email,
but
was
just,
conveniently removed by the leaker.
I
If a
just does
version with a
cyber
valid
beliefs.
signature does exist online, I was unable to find it. But regardless of its legitimacy, I find this question a bit odd. It reads,
Do you believe information should be free? That has been a question that's been running for people on the internet for like decades now. Really. It's still in the debate to this day, actually, from what I've seen.
do you believe that information should be free? Assuming the expected answer is yes, then the very first sentence, do not share this information, seems a bit hypocritical.
Hypocritical.
While the idea of a secret society recruiting individuals by means of elaborate cryptographic puzzles may seem a bit absurd or even conspiratorial, it's not entirely unfounded. Corporations and governments alike have employed similar recruitment techniques since at least the Second World War. In 2013, the British intelligence agency GCHQ launched a recruitment program known as Can You Find It? Participants had to decrypt a number of cryptograms hidden across the internet, and those who managed to solve the entire puzzle were offered a prize or a position at the agency. Google did something similar with enigmatic billboards back in 2004, and the US Navy launched a near-identical project in 2014. Okay, but then what about the recruits?
Yeah.
Why have we not heard from these chosen few?
I feel like they were trying to stay
we
very
have. It's just that separating a legitimate finalist from an imposter is virtually impossible. In a 2015 interview with Rolling Stone, two alleged winners of the first puzzle chronicled the events beyond the final stage. After receiving an email from Cicada, they were taken to a forum on the dark web. Here they could communicate with 20-some-odd recruits as well as a handful of established members of Cicada. They were told that Cicada 3301 had been founded by a group of friends who shared common ideals about security, privacy, and censorship. The goal was to work as a collective to develop software applications in line with that ideology. As friends recruited friends, this secret society quickly expanded into a decentralized international organization.
I'm gonna pause there real quick. So stuff like that, I've heard about this like from from learning, from taking my classes. That's actually been a thing for a while, actually. It's just that this is the first time I've come across where these ideologies have been around for a long time. Like you just said, this started back in 2013, 2011. So this started like around 8 to 10 years ago. But it's crazy how much it's still growing to this day, how these kind of topics are growing around. But I just find it weird that this is all based on, like, some secret society of a cyber group trying to go about this in their, very low-key way, just remaining in the dark. Feels I just find it very interesting why it is like that. And the fact that apparently, I believe it where it says it's internationally for a group of people. Otherwise, it's probably from different countries. Like, they would not have. I think they would have not found another way of posting them in other countries without the group being from living in different countries in that area. That's my assumption right there. I could be wrong, but hey, you can let me know in the comment section down below.
Recruits were then tasked with developing software that fit the ideology of the group, and members of Cicada would oversee their progress. But without the allure of a puzzle to be solved, the recruits quickly lost interest. By the end of 2012, all but one had left, and a few months later, the site was gone. They never heard from Cicada again. One of the two winners, named Marcus Wanner, later elaborated further in a video by YouTuber Nox Populi. Furthermore, Nox Populi himself claims to be a winner of the second puzzle, so I reached out to him, and this is some of what he had to say.
What did he say?
After completing the final stages of the second puzzle, Nox Populi received an invitation to join Cicada 3301. However, he was not invited to a website, but was instead merely told to be patient. Then, around May of 2013, all communication with Cicada abruptly ceased. This was around the same time as when the website dedicated to the winners of the first puzzle was suddenly taken down. Nox Populi later contacted other winners of the second puzzle to compare notes, and their experiences were identical. In his own words, all the stories were the same. We were invited to join 3301, then something happened, and silence followed a request for patience. Nox Populi supposed that roughly 5 others completed the second puzzle, in contrast to the 20-odd winners of the first. In regards to who or what Cicada is, Nox Populi believes they could be a remnant of the cypherpunk movement of the late 80s and 90s. Essentially a small group of activists advocating widespread use of strong cryptography and privacy-enhancing technologies. But he admits that there is no way to know for certain.
Yeah, I was just saying.
If you want a far more comprehensive walkthrough of these puzzles as opposed to my brief overview, Nox Populi has produced a number of videos on his channel which I highly recommend.
Okay.
While these accounts cannot be verified, they do make for a very compelling argument as to what Cicada is. A group of anonymous developers seeking to develop privacy-conscious applications by recruiting talented individuals via cryptographic puzzles. Sure, it is not nearly as exciting as a shadow government seeking world domination or any of the more fantastical theories, but it is certainly more plausible.
We don't know.
You have to keep in mind that no part of these puzzles would have required more than one person. The posters are often pointed to as evidence that this must be the work of some international organization, but I beg to differ. I mean, right now, I could use any number of services to hire random persons around the globe to install posters for me. Although, given that no poster was located more than an hour away from an airport leads me to believe that one or multiple persons actually traveled to these locations.
That could be true,
I mean, some of the posters were...
I'd be surprised if they would go that far to travel just to this country. Be a little bit far, just a little bit, not too far, but just a little bit close to the airport, and have these posters there, just to fly to this country, just for this purpose. I find that to be very, very crazy. I mean, just to do that because taking these flights are a bit costly if you were to go to another country, but that's just me. Unless these guys were able to afford to, but man, that's just a lot just to do that, just for the purpose of going to that country, just to put a poster there and just cover the tracks. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Organizations and groups like this pretty much have done this before, but I just find it weird why they would do that. I mean, I feel like that's just doing the most to me, in my opinion. But not at the realm of possibility. But, I stick with the way of, there's some members probably live in these countries, but they just put it there and just, keep it on the down low. That's just my theory. I could be wrong.
Within walking distance of an international airport. The fact is that anyone with a disposable income and enough time on their hands would be able to create the illusion of a vast, secret network spanning the globe. Not saying that is the case with Cicada 3301, but it is nonetheless a possibility that cannot be discounted.
It may or may not be, but it could be one of those
all
things,
of that being said,
I
personally think a loose-knit group of privacy-minded hobby cryptographers to be the most plausible explanation.
Yeah.
Cicada made their last public statement in April of 2017, merely warning against disinformation. But the current status of the third puzzle, and the possibility of a fourth, remains clouded in mystery.
Man, one of the unsolved mysteries on the internet to learn about. Crazy. Oh man, I'm surprised. That's one of I've never came across this until now. Maybe because I look in different sides of the internet and these things don't really catch my attention. But this is the first time I've ever come across them. I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck? Man. So, I could see why they call it themselves Cicada. From that third audio playback, you heard cicadas. So that at least alludes to the reason why they may have named themselves Cicada. But man, I'm just thinking about this a little bit heavily. Because I just, a few months ago, I just started learning the basics of cryptography. And it can be a little easy, and it can be a little difficult depending on how you're trying to do the cryptography. Well, some people may find it more easy than others. Like I said, I just started learning a few months ago, so I'm still in the amateur beginning levels of learning cryptography. So I'm just like, well, some things I found a bit easy, some things I just found hard. But then some things I would just go through and just go through cryptography converters and help me out from there, and just see it's like, oh, okay, that's one of the things I was learning. So, but it's just, but the internet is full of mysterious things. Like, in the dark web, you find some very sketchy stuff, and you find some very, very secret and interesting stuff. And it just leaves me in like, why, from watching this, why would they go this far to do these things? That remains the question in me. I have no idea. It's just very fascinating. They would do these kind of things to do the most. And if they're... but I don't think, like you said earlier, but I don't think they're a group of hacktivists. No. I don't think they are. They live by one of these beliefs, though, so it doesn't... Not too far-fetched, but I can understand these beliefs. Because that kind of debate, there's privacy and stuff, and, the freedom and, sharing information should be free and stuff. That's been a debate for like several years already. I remember when I was watching this documentary, like Is Privacy Dead, narrated by Morgan Freeman, of course. I was like, it's kind of interesting how we think about, do we really have privacy or not? Because can we truly have privacy even if we're in our own homes or in other places? That's because how much the digital world has basically advanced and how much we can actually be spied on things. It's crazy how much technology has advanced. This is why I believe I have the philosophy, there's always a good and bad to everything. Like I said, there can be everything. Like, technology, there's a good and bad side to the internet, there's a good and bad side. And this goes to shows, but, when it comes to most of these things, it can be a little bit mysterious. Such as the case with Cicada 3301 here. I'm just surprised, it's been like almost a decade since this stuff happened. Well, and now this will probably forever remain an internet mystery, or something will come back up again, and it'll probably start coming back into the limelight. I don't think it might, considering how long it's been now. But geez, these guys are weird. Well, it's a pretty interesting concept. I kind of want to look at more in this, though. Not just this, but more, internet mysteries that involve these kind of things. But why? It just always remains, what's the motivation behind these things? It's not a governmental test or anything, or a secret organization test. Well, that part, it may be. The secret organization test, it may be a little bit. But, that's my thoughts. It's just so hard to wrap my head around this, thinking about how I just learned this just now. It's just like I'm going this blindly, just learning this knowledge. So, I don't know what else to think of this. I'm lying to myself. I have a few things to think about it, but can't wrap it all in my head right now. Recording for this video. It's a lot to process. I'll give it that. If I ever have spare time, which maybe, if it depends on how I use my spare time, I may look more into these kind of things. Maybe. But let me know what you guys think. For those who are reacting to this, even though this video has been around, this whole stuff has been around for years now, and it's just caught my attention now. And for those who are watching, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Because like I said, I am studying in the tech field, so this coming out is pretty interesting to me, because that's why there's like, for me, we had to take a class on computer ethics, because this is the kind of stuff people in the tech field still talk about to this day. That's what they teaching at university, and sometimes even after university, people still talk about it, even when they're in the career field. So, but yeah, like I said, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like this reaction, and subscribe for more reactions, because I will do more reaction videos and stuff. And I do more reaction videos. I do other multi-content stuff, because I'm a multi-content channel. Not the best idea, but it's what I choose to do. But I make it work somehow. But anyways. So please subscribe to Makes Life Happy, and tune in for more. Like I said, there'll be more to come eventually. I just don't have a consistent schedule like other YouTubers, which is why, it's just taking forever for me to get views and grow sub count, because, I go AWOL, then I come back, so. But there'll definitely be more to come. So, but in any case, that's all I have to say for this video. For those who are watching, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm out.